our next guest, who I probably think has got the most envied of all jobs.
Yo!
Mr. Sello Hatang, the CEO from the Nelson Mandela Foundation. Uh, for a man who is running an organization that is at the heart of preserving the history, the memory, and the legacy of such a great name as Nelson Mandela, I don't think I can be second guessed to suggest that you've got the most envied jobs of all.
I think that maybe let me first say good morning, but it's envied until you run out of tickets for the Obama lecture. So because from yesterday, we released about 4,500 tickets on online, and within 2 hours they were gone.
Yeah.
And then my phone started ringing, people being rude, people
Yeah.
being... So words were used to describe me, to say, Hatang, we want more. So just to say to the first, I've run out of tickets. I don't have. So the foundation doesn't have any more tickets for the... But I thought we should, as we get into these centenaries, we should go back to where Ausintiki ended, about Me Sisulu and her nursing career. In a country where today we're talking about patients being pushed with wheelbarrows out of hospitals because there's industrial action. In a country where a child can die in a pit latrine, and the care is not there to then help rescue them. In a country where you can paralyze the system completely because a union demands something, and it just keeps demanding it until the health system in the Northwest is about to be on its knees. Where I was born in Tleckstop Hospital, the doctors have not been allowed in. So I think if we are to live these legacies, we must start where we are today in order to reimagine the century that's coming. To say a child who will be born in the next 100 years, when we all are gone, should not experience this the stuff that we experience today. But going to the kind of programs that we should be all championing is to ensure that each one of us carries the responsibility that Madiba advocated for when he said that when we wake up in the morning, as a listener, one should worry about, ask oneself one question: what am I doing to help build a country of my dreams? In other words, we are a country of dreamers, but dreamers who need to be taking action to build that country. It takes a visionary to then build that country that we want.
Yeah, obviously you are the, as the Nelson Mandela Foundation, you are the engine room, you are the nerve center for some of the most important mass appeal initiatives that will be happening ahead of the centenary celebrations. Is there one or two that you can specifically tell us about?
You're going to get into trouble because I have my chairman, Minister Khatebe, who is the chairman of the IMC. He's the engine room that's coordinating all of us. So before I get fired by Minister Khatebe, I'm second to him. So let's just get the order right. But I think in terms of the programs that we want to do, you'd note that President Ramaphosa recently announced that there's going to be the Nelson Mandela Tumamina Fund. That's something that we're going to launch on the 18th of July. And to allay fears about what that fund will be doing, it's to ensure that we go back to those needs, key needs, including ECDs. In fact, Minister Mokonyane was talking about the love for children, how we need to be taking care of the basics of children. The first 1,000 days of a child, they determine whether they can succeed or not. And we will use this fund to ensure that we respond to that need. And we're still to determine with the president how this will be run, but on the 18th, that's something that's going to happen. But we're also going to be hosting at least about 6 presidents as part of the program from the 16th through to the 18th. On the 19th, we're going to have President Clinton, who will then also be hosting young people. Dealing with some of the difficult issues that we're dealing with today. So all of us, around, as we go next month, we're hosting events with the Gauteng government, where we will be in Nasrec with the Gauteng government, again marking these 2 legacies. So the 50 days should be about how do I ensure that for the next countdown, as we go to 49 days, how am I building that country that a child must find themselves in the next 50 years?
Yeah, yeah. We all know what President Mandela did for South Africa, for all of us seated here and everybody listening to us right now. In fact, the world treats him almost like a rock star. I've always wanted to know, are there global organizations that often get in touch with yours to try and share examples of best practice?
Yeah, we do. In fact, I think it's true to say that we had to do the same thing. When Madiba established the foundation in '99, stories told of how he used to call his former staff members to say, organize this meeting for me. Can you organize this flight? And after a while, they had to tell him, actually, you're no longer president. We're not working for you, we're working for the new guy in town. So I think it's that then led us to then go to Tanzania. We went to most of the African countries and the US to look at best practice. How do you celebrate a former president? That's why the Center of Memory was then born. And with this, we've then been helping mostly South African organizations to help with best practice. In the global picture, we've worked with the Martin Luther King Foundation, for example. They've come and seen to check what we're doing. How do we get it right? We're still learning too. And there's many things that we get right, and there are those that we get wrong.
We're very proud of your organization and all the great things you do on behalf of South Africans, because it's in the interest of everyone that the legacy, the history, and the memory of Nelson Mandela is preserved and promoted. Thank you very much, Sello Hatang. Harna n'wina hi ta va hi kha hi ya mahlweni hi saleriwe hi nkarhinyana wutsongo mi nga rivali ku ya mahlweni mi kha mi hi nyika